Hey, this vlog is for Naomi Schiff. She's a landscape architect in Oakland who has a long history of political involvement. Not necessarily running for office, but being involved in different policy-making organizations and community groups. Anyway, on a Facebook group that's called Lake Neighbors, it's a public group, she asked me what I meant by the term red pill. And I used it in context because of late, there are people who have a habit, I'm just going to be very blunt, of tagging me in this case. I don't know them, I haven't met them in person, and asking questions that are essentially antagonistic and present a view that they have the answer and no one else. For example, the woman that said that they prefer, verifiable facts for news, when in the next paragraph of exchange or set of paragraphs, it's revealed that her idea of verifiable facts basically is a cute way of justifying her opinion on, in this instance, whether or not the conditions at the lake were chaotic or not. I personally believe that there was one video that I saw that was described that way that I could contend that wasn't the case, but it didn't stop me from presenting that person's point of view. Others took what I presented as my point of view, and they didn't stop to actually click through to realize that I'd actually left a comment on the video myself disagreeing with what the video maker had said or tried to say. Because there's some people who, when they go to Facebook, they only stay on the platform. They don't click through to the news source that they are commenting about in two-dimensional text, okay? It's a common habit and it's really stupid, but it's that process and that desire to have that kind of approach and then to present what they think they know as the blue pill. I say take the red pill. The red pill, in this instance, are actions they don't want to take, clicking all the way through, and engaging in an observation they don't agree with, which could be that, in another case, the current business activity on the lake is not the worst there's ever been in terms of the kind of conditions that were left. The festival at the lake was far worse, and the riot that happened because of it and the subsequent trouble that happened, including a police sweep on the Sunday of the NBA Finals game pitting the Chicago Bulls versus the Los Angeles Lakers, was still one of the worst police actions I've ever seen, and the worst police action I've ever seen in my entire life in person. It predates the cell phone, and it included a woman on the corner of Perkins and Grand Avenue, 18 years old, pregnant, arrested, crying in the back of the squad car. I'm yelling at the Oakland cop to get her out of there. And I wrote about all that in the Montclarian. That was 1994. All right? It was awful. What happened around that time, around the lake that day, terrible. So, what bothers me about the way some people, choose to exchange in that medium, which is such that it's binary. They always write something that basically says no to yours, and you wind up basically saying no to them, and that's it. There's no healthy exchange as there would be if it were in a, for example, even a Zoom style setup or something like that, or Clubhouse or anything else. It's very unhealthy. And yet there are people who insist on it. Like I said to one person, I don't want to have an exchange with you. I could have blocked them. I didn't. It's not worth it. I don't have the time. But the person still tags me and then does this thing like, why? As if I'm supposed to come back and want to have an exchange with this person after I said I don't want to. Which makes me think maybe I just block them and just be done with it. You know, it's all much ado essentially about not entirely nothing, because it points to some problems, major problems in our society, I think. But it's not that important where I have to allow it to go on at all. So Naomi, taking the red pill is simply dealing with someone else's version of reality, not yours. Listening to them, understanding, asking questions. You did ask me what I meant, all right? But also seeking to engage with them in a way that's healthy, not unhealthy. The majority of interactions I've seen are not only of late unhealthy in that group, they're race-based, with white folks who are in their 40s and 50s and up having a point of view, who, you know, either live around the lake or say they live around the lake. And there are others who are black who have a different point of view. But the other folks regard their point of view, it's almost as if it doesn't exist, and theirs prevails by, well, I've got the facts and the information. It's particularly annoying to those of us who actually do have facts, information, and experience. All right? So that's where all that came from. So I say this, take the red pill. Get into somebody else's view of society, particularly if they're black. Find out what they think and why, and stop trying to shut them down, because it only makes the situation worse. They don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk up to a person like that. I don't want to know them. Life's too short. So there you go. The red pill is the better one. It lets you see the matrix. The blue pill, it keeps you in the matrix. Subscribe to Zennie62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com.